I actually found premium care on Real Self. I had gastric surgery a couple of years ago, so the first thing I started looking for is, someone to do plastics, because that's like the final stage of having gastric surgery. So I was looking, I live in America, I was looking all over. I was open for everything and everywhere, and I ran across Dr. Campbell, and I was just really excited because he was an American doctor. And then when I started looking at the program that he offered, I was really intrigued by the services that he provided. So. Oh wow, yeah, it was very organized. So Pedro was my coordinator, and I spoke with him for the last 2 years. So I actually reached out to him. I had lots of questions. He was very communicative. He responded very quickly. I asked him, just about what the process would be, concerned about traveling so far, what should I expect? He basically provided me all of the information I needed in order to start the process. There's questionnaire, there's pictures you need to send. He was always available if I had questions. And I was kind of, on the fence, when am I going to have it done? I wasn't sure when, how long I should wait after my weight loss surgery. So there was probably 3 or 4 times over the last 2 years, I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready now. And I started all over again with them, send new pictures. And ultimately, I ended up getting it done this year. But like I said, I communicated with him pretty regularly. He remembered me every time I would reach back out to him. So that was nice as well. Very nice. Well, like I said, I did have a gastric sleeve about 2 years ago, and actually had that in Tijuana. And I'm from America. I've been in healthcare for over 30 years. And unfortunately, I wasn't sick enough for my insurance to pay for my gastric surgery. So I had needed to figure out how I was going to be able to afford it. So that's when I started doing more research. My research included, basically going online, looking for local doctors, looking for doctors in America, finding out how much the cost would be. At that time, I lived in Texas, and it found out that the gastric sleeve was going to be over $20,000, and I would have to pay it myself because my insurance company said I wasn't sick enough. So I was like, I can't afford that. But then unfortunately, I did have family history of certain conditions that made me very concerned that now that I'm getting older, I need to figure out how to address, my weight. So ultimately, I decided to get my weight loss surgery done in Tijuana. Very much similar to how you all have it here, a very concierge service. So I was very pleased with that. But then I knew that the final part of that process would be the plastic surgery, the skin removal. Because a lot of what I've learned looking up a lot of information about weight loss surgery is that folks that do not get their plastic surgery tend to gain weight again. So the last thing I want to do is have to start that journey all over again now that I'm getting older. My kids are older now, and my dad is older, and a lot of ailments are going on. And I'm like, I really just want to be healthy. I want to feel good. I want to look good. And it's not something that anybody else, wanted me to do. It was something I decided to do for myself. When I first talked to my children at that time, even with just the weight loss surgery, they're like, no, you don't need it. You don't need it. We can go to the gym with you. We'll help you meal prep. We'll do all this stuff. And I've tried so many things, so many years, and nothing helped. I had medical assisted weight loss programs. You're taking pills every day, and all kind of diet programs and exercise programs, and it just nothing really helped. And this ultimately was, what I figured was the best thing for me. So then, like I said, once I had the weight loss surgery, lost all of the weight really quickly, learned how to eat more healthy and more, conducive to a healthy lifestyle. And then it was like, okay, when do I want to get my plastics? And that was the final piece. And, again, like my gastric surgery, my health plan is not going to pay for it. So I had to figure out a way that I can afford to pay for it. And like I said, 2 years ago when I started looking, that's when I found Dr. Campbell, but I still looked for other options, look at other places I can go, places in America, other countries offer some services as well. And ultimately I felt that Dr. Campbell's program was the best, and I was very impressed. So. my God, it's been amazing. It's amazing. Now, again, I've been in healthcare for over 30 years in America, so I'm very comfortable and familiar with how the healthcare is there. And not to say that it's bad, it's just different. Here, what I love about this is it's all-inclusive. You know, if you don't do your research on what you need in order to have this type of procedure, you don't know what you don't know. And therefore, your recovery can be a lot more painful, a lot more extensive. So for instance, before I had my gastric sleeve, I actually had liposuction done in Texas. And I didn't realize then, or didn't know until now, how important it is to have the lymphatic drainage massages. I didn't have that then. I had a lot of bruising, a lot of, you know, soreness. It was just a really bad recovery process, and that's all I had at that time. So now that I've had my mommy makeover and realize now with the all-inclusive package where, you know, not only do you have nurses taking care of you, and I get the daily massages for 10 days post-surgery. I see the doctor, you know, every 2 or 3 days. I, you know, have someone there all the time to help. If I need something, I just make a phone call or text, and someone's always there. It just, one, psychologically, I think it releases stress, which helps you relax and helps you be able to start the healing process. And then physically, you have the support that you need, that you don't know that you need, because your body's going through something you've never gone through before, if that makes sense. Beautiful hair. Now, I live in Vegas, Las Vegas, so it's very dry, and right now it's cold. So this has been amazing. The weather here is beautiful. And I haven't had to use lotion or moisturizer since I've been here. It's been amazing. My skin and my hair is just loving all of this moisture. I was just saying, I'm like, gosh, when I go home, I'm gonna have to start using lotion again. But the city is beautiful. The view is awesome, just to have water. I mean, again, I'm from Vegas, we have desert, right? So this water is absolutely amazing. We had an opportunity to go on a tour through the city, and we were able to go to mausoleum, and it's just lots of culture and just beautiful thing. The people here are so nice and friendly, you know, and the food is excellent. So I'm like, should I be moving here? But yeah, it's wonderful, very nice.
Thank you.
I would say do your research, get all your questions answered. It doesn't matter who you choose to go with, but make sure that you're comfortable and that you get all of your questions answered, because ultimately it's your decision, it's your body, it's your life. And that's one of the things that I really appreciated about the program here, because I never felt pressured. And like I said, that's been 2 years, right? So Pedro and I have had conversation after conversation after conversation multiple times. And he said, just let me know when you're ready. We can set up a consult, you know. And that made me feel comfortable, because sometimes, you know, depending on where you're from, you kind of feel pressured that you need to make a decision right away. And I've never felt that. You know, you also have different programs. Some people don't have all the money up front, so you maybe can make payments and then set a date later. You know, you don't always have those options, you know, with other providers. So like I said, there was no pressure, but I would say take your time, make sure that you're confident that this is what you want, do your research, and by all means, at least give yourself an opportunity to consider, you know, premium care, because it's been amazing, absolutely amazing here. So.
Thank you.